Morning warriors, and welcome to episode 9 of Why Shy Why. Why Shy Why, guys, is really about me and our team really taking a couple of those questions that we have been discussing over the last week with our clients and highlighting one or two of those specific ones and providing a couple of recommendations to you guys that might be going through a similar issue in your business. So, nice problem to have, high growth businesses. We work with a lot of high growth businesses because they tend to bring on technology, second tier technology when they're growing, and their off the shelf products don't really work anymore. So we have a lot of businesses that way, but we find that what happens is that there's no mindset change in the owners or the executive teams to take them from what's made them successful in the past and stratospheric in the future. So if you guys are interested in what happens when you go from hustling into amazingness, stick around. Alright, so let's get into it. Number one, the things that you are trying to do when you're trying to change your mindset into high growth rather than a hustling mode, for example, is change your market signals. Okay, you need to signal to your customers that you guys are now a player in this field, right? You're no longer the startup, you're no longer the hustler, you are now an established player that's about to make a difference for your customer. Okay, so make sure your customers know that, because essentially what you're doing is you're changing your mindset, you're changing the way your business works for them because of the volume that they're coming in for, and obviously you're doing the right things, right? So you need to make sure that you're talking to your customers and let them know that you're going to be changing a few things because you have a huge volume now and you want to keep that the quality of your service or your product intact. Number two, make sure your transactions are as frictionless as possible, right? So I go straight away, I start thinking in the ordering process. Make it so it's a really quick thing. If you don't need a first name, don't ask for a first name, just get an email address and you're good to go. Order is an example of that, but you want to make it frictionless across the board. Communications, for example, if you're, doing things like videos and you're posting to Facebook, make sure that someone is looking at your Facebook remarks and someone's going to be responding to your customers, because those sort of things can't just fall dead in the water, right? That needs to be part of your growth, because you're going to be liaising with your customers. Even things like support channels, right? Make sure that after sales support and those sort of things are really well looked after, because now you're going to have higher volume. You've got to keep that in play. And number three, and probably the most important really, is test for success. You guys, the MDs, the CEOs, the founders, you guys aren't on the ground anymore. You're not really liaising with customers on a daily basis anymore. You've left the hustle behind a little bit, and that might be 2 or 3 levels below you now. But what got you to this point is the intuition that, hey, okay, this tactic was working when I was, talking to this group of people. They really responded to the service that I provide. So what you want to do now is have that intuition built into your system, right? And one of the great ways to do that is to experiment. So experiment with things like your web page, right? You can send half your visitors to design A and then half your visitors to design B, right? That will work. Or experiment with other things like incoming phone calls or new products, different marketing strategies, whatever it is. Start experimenting, because you have to keep your finger on the pulse. You don't have the one-on-one interaction with your customers anymore, so you need to extrapolate that into some data, experimental data that you can use to keep that relationship alive. Okay. Alright guys, that's 3 points for you guys, for those of you who are in the envious position of having higher scale growth. For those of you who are not, we're happy to help still. Give us a call. We have a phone number coming at the end of this video, or if you would like to know more about what we do or even have some comments, please do comment, like and share this video. We really appreciate it. Okay guys, I think that's it for now. My name is Shai, I'm from Soft Solutions, and we will see you next week with episode 10. Until then, stay focused.